welcome to our news roundup for this evening. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, received on Tuesday at the Presidential Palace the President of the Independent National Electoral Authority, Mohammed Shorfi, who gave him a presentation on the ongoing preparations for the organization of electoral events, scheduled to begin with the referendum of the draft revision of the Constitution during this meeting. It was decided to set the date of November 1st, 2020 for the holding of the referendum on the constitutional revision. Mohammed Shorfi said in a statement to the press that he was honored to meet with the head of state in the framework of the preparation of the popular referendum on the preliminary draft of the revision of the Constitution. He added that he made him a collection of proposals and guaranteed that all the conditions and means are made available and that the Independent National Authority of Elections will be ready at the appropriate time for the next referendum. Also, they returned to the financial and legal difficulties and possibly other difficulties. Then the head of state decided that the first day of the referendum would take place on November 1st. It is a day that will coincide with the inauguration of the Great Mosque of Algiers, which will be an opportunity for all Algerians to fulfill their right to vote in the referendum on the draft revision of the Constitution.
The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, received today the diplomat Sabir Singh, who paid him a farewell visit at the end of his term as the ambassador of India to Algeria. In a statement to the press afterwards, he said that the President of the Republic honored him by a warm welcome and assured him of his attachment to the progress of bilateral relations between the two countries and the fulfilling of their objectives. The Minister of Energy, Abdelmajid Attar, carried out today a visit in company of the Governor of Algiers to structures relevant to his sector. Abdelmajid Attar stressed the need to speed up the project pace as their objective is to reach an optimum coverage of the needs of the capital Algiers in gas and power, especially after the urban growth that the capital witnessed with the creation of new urban centers. As a reminder, the Energy Minister inaugurated on Tuesday 2 electric transformation centers at Al-Hamiz, Dar al-Baida and Al Ibrahim municipalities. He said in a statement to the press that he gave the go to the gas pipeline linking Bouzaria and Zeralda provinces. Abdelmajid Attar put forward the importance of these 3 projects, which cost 8 billion dinars, and these projects will have for purpose to secure power sufficiency for the province of Algiers, as it is also the case for the gas pipeline of Boufarik province, which will supply all the western region.
In anticipation of the beginning of the social season and taking into account the exceptional situation that the national press is going through, the Ministry of Communication asked the National Company of Communication, Publishing and Advertising (ANEP) to clear the advertising claims of newspapers. The information was confirmed by the Minister of Communication spokesman for the government, Ammar Belhimer, during a meeting with the President and CEO of ANEP and media officials. The government will continue its efforts to clean up the advertising sector and to put an end to ambitions and practices contrary to the profession of journalists. This is what the Minister of Communication hammered on the occasion of a meeting initiated by the National Publishing and Advertising Agency. Ammar Belhimer said that the new legal regulation of the contractual procedures governing access to public advertising is an initiative of the National Agency for Publishing and Advertising. This regulation, which will come into force as of January 1st, 2021, will manage access to advertising as an exclusive state authority. 50 transitional criteria for the allocation of public advertising have been defined. The renewal of advertising agreements will take effect as of January 1st, 2021. Pending the enactment of the Advertising Act. To this end, the ANEP CEO said that the reorganization of the advertising sector and the change in the management mode aims to give a new face to ANEP, and this despite the difficult financial situation. The ANEP CEO said that they are up to date to facilitate the mission of the publishers so that they can pay the workers, and it has not been easy for them because the cash registers are almost empty. In anticipation of the new social season and taking into account the exceptional situation that the press is going through, ANEP proceeded to the settlement of the newspaper's advertising debts.
The 6th edition of International Military Games started on Monday with the participation of Algeria for the 3rd consecutive time. The military national team will participate to these games, which will last till the 5th of September, in the airborne specialty, which will regroup 200 participants from 10 countries, namely Algeria, Russia, China, Belarus, Congo, Cambodia, Mali, Namibia, Tajikistan, and Equatorial Guinea. These athletes will compete in several disciplines, including parachute jumping, obstacle course over a 10-kilometer distance with an 80-kilo load, precision jumping, BTR-82 military vehicle driving, as well as a shooting competition with different weapons. The K9 team of the National Gendarmerie Command will also participate to these games in Moscow. The military Algerian teams received during the 2 previous editions the Combat Spirit Prize, the Team Spirit Prize, and the United Team Cup in recognition of their remarkable performance.
The Minister of Education, Mohamed Oujaoud, chaired over a national seminar to certify course papers for the primary education level, which was an urgent requirement for teachers at this level. This seminar is considered the second of its kind after the one that was devoted last February to developing, standardizing and approving course papers, and constituted the last stage of a process that began at the beginning of this year. Mohamed Oujaoud stated that setting standard educational notes to support the educational system and respond to the one of the primary teachers' demands, which is going to reduce the burden of the daily preparation of course sheets, aimed to provide the teacher with the work tools that allow him to accomplish his educational mission, especially for those who do not belong to the Higher School of Teachers, ENS. The Algerian Air Company stated on its Facebook page that Air Algérie scheduled a repatriation flight from Paris Airport Orly to Algiers next Wednesday, August 26th, for the Algerian citizens blocked in Europe. Air Algérie specified that this repatriation concerns citizens, residents or holders of visas type D for the Schengen area, reminding that this process is part of the President's instructions aimed at the repatriation of Algerians stranded in different countries. The National Agricultural Mutual Fund, CNMA, cooperated with the Algerian Chamber of Fishers and Aquaculture in order to participate in the development of the fishing sector by providing support in strengthening prevention and risk management. Thanks to this initiative, the professionals of fishing sector can benefit from the advantages offered by the CNMA, National Agricultural Mutual Fund, through insurance coverage that adapts to the real needs of their companies and thus rescue their income by taking responsibility for the risks associated with their activities, whether sea or continental fishing, agricultural or heritage insurance. For the 24th of August 2020, 398 new confirmed cases, including 11 new deaths, have been reported in the last 24 hours, according to the spokesman of the scientific committee in charge of monitoring the evolution of COVID-19 pandemic, Professor Jamal Fourar. He added that in the last 24 hours, 28 provinces have reported no new cases, 11 provinces have registered between 1 and 9 cases, and 16 other provinces have recorded more than 10 cases. 227 patients have recovered, which brings up the total number of cured patients to 29,369, while 37 are in intensive care. To conclude, Professor Jamal Fourar stressed the necessity to remain vigilant and to observe healthy measures and the mandatory wearing of face masks.
Forest protection became a concern of the associative movement. In Media Province, no less than 10 associations under the leadership of the Federation of Hunters proceeded to clean up the forests of Temesgida in the National Park of Sharia. According to these volunteers, the situation is catastrophic. The forest is full of waste, especially plastic bottles. This lofty move was initiated to rid this beautiful forest of the waste generated by certain visitors who come to enjoy the beauty of nature, leaving behind them rubbish of all kinds which threaten ecological balance. After 28 years of closure to public, the beach of Club des Pins, west of Algiers, is once again accessible. Swimmers were able to access without presenting authorization or access cards. People came from everywhere to discover the beach. Gendarme officers are at various points to ensure the safety of everyone, without forgetting the strict health protocol that has been implemented at the level of the beach, which consists on the mandatory wearing of face masks and physical distancing. And that's it for our news roundup. Thanks for joining us. Good night.